We have escaped from the sewer. That should be like a Crush 40 song, but
And
it's
now
not.
I escape from the sewer.
Follow me, set me free. Trust me, and we will now not smell as shitty.
It's stinky. So much pee.
This is surprisingly one of the most striking bits of environment in the entire city area, where you just come out of the sewer and there's this ruined ass building next to you, and I have no idea what it's here for. And anyway, the first time I played this game, that rifle ammo was the first rifle ammo that I found, and I was like, wait, there's a rifle? And I looked up where the rifle was. It was in the area where you fight the larva boss way back when. Unfortunately, you cannot backtrack. Once you enter the sewer, you can't go any further back. And even if you could, I think the rifle is in the Otherworld version of the community center anyway, so there's no way to get to it from the town.
Permanent missable stuff irks me in a lot of games. But I mean, granted, I think, sometimes it does have a purpose. I don't know how I feel about it in a horror game because I don't play that genre
It's
a lot.
it's kind of annoying in this case because the rifle is sort of like hidden away in a dark corner of a dark and very large room, and if you don't look around, which you might not think to, because the thing doesn't exactly broadcast, "Hey, this is a gun shop over here," until you're like right up against it, you might just miss it.
Hey, Silent Hill, can I go back to your creepy alternate version? What? Why would you want to go back there? I missed a gun.
Uh,
That sounds like something Heather would say, or at least the way I was playing her when I played that game.
It's you see, in some games it doesn't bother me as much. Like in a platformer, for example, if you can't get a one up that you missed in a level, like no, who really cares? RPGs, it drives me up the wall, which makes me paranoid about playing any Tales game ever again. Because I played Tales of the Abyss a couple of years ago when that game got a 3DS port, and then I found out like way later that I missed like 12 optional side quests that get time blocked out.
Yeah,
So if I ever play another one, I'm following along with the guide just to make sure
I
I don't
think
miss anything.
I think my favorite ways of handling that are in Xenoblade Chronicles and Nier Automata. In Xenoblade, it's they actually tell you which quests are missable, and in Nier Automata, you have a chapter select after you complete a route, so you can go back to a certain point in the game and complete the stuff you missed. You know, it's kind of a good thing. Oh, hi, Coughman.
Step away from that man.
Harry
Nice
just
shot.
takes his sweet ass time pulling out his gun. He's
you
like,
okay?
"Oh yeah, I get to be the hero today."
Take that. The hell?
Yeah, the animation quality in Silent Hill is not quite on par with Resident Evil 2, I've got to say. But yeah, this is an optional quest. You can run past the entire resort section of town and proceed straight down the bridge to the amusement park area. However, if you do, you will miss this side quest. And if you don't do this entire sequence of events, you will not get the good ending. This area is required for the good ending. Which means, well, it might be required for Harry to even survive the game if you don't also happen to do the incredibly cryptic thing that saves Sybil Bennett.
I better get going.
Is it like a puzzle, or is it just like you have to have done something that really doesn't really you wouldn't
Oh,
assume?
there's a reason that it matters.
Okay.
Saving Kaufman's life in here, for one thing, makes sure he's alive to show up during the ending. But after you save him, you have to search this area here. And if you do, you'll find that Kaufman has dropped something. I really needed to line myself up for it. It needed to look good, bending down to pick up that dropped wallet.
Dropped his wallet.
Oh man,
There's
online
so
shopping
much
spree, baby.
stuff. Yeah. That
So
was like 3 credit cards in here.
he has a motel key and a receipt. The receipt isn't as important as anything, but it was used for him to write down something. Okay, so it's kind of cryptic. The game doesn't straight up explain this. You have to sort of figure it out from the context of everything, which is cool. There's a convenience store called the Indian Runner. And that convenience store has a code lock. And for some reason, Kauffman wrote down this code lock on the receipt. You have to wonder, why on earth would Kauffman have the code lock in the first place? Why would the store owner give it to him? Well, the store owner was involved in the drug trafficking ring, and if you go in there and explore a bit beyond what you need to do to just pick up the items and information you need, you'll find a locker full of drugs. The locker full of drugs.
Oh yeah, party time.
The locker full of drugs is not something that you can take with you. In fact, you can't even do anything with it. I don't think it triggers anything. It's just something that you can find that explains, the connection between Kauffman and the store. But the Indian Runner is not the last destination. That's only the middle stop in this little side quest run. Now, the resort area is little quaint residential area with a park in the middle. It would be quite nice if it wasn't so dark out right now. In fact, I kind of wish we could have explored this part of town in the fog instead of in the dark, god damn it.
This is your fault.
Note that it is the fog that came back in the sequels, not the dark.
Yeah, because you can't have, like, a fog version of a flashlight. Like, that just doesn't exist. Do they
No.
make a big deal? I know that they make a big deal about the fog story-wise in the sequels. Do they mention it as much in this one? Or is it just like, oh, it's really foggy, so you can't see good?
They don't really make a big deal out of the fog at any point. It's just kind of a characteristic of the town.
Okay.
Well, I mean, unless I'm missing something from Homecoming and Downpour, because I haven't finished those yet.
Okay.
I haven't really
For some
played
reason, I
Homecoming
remember,
at all,
like,
but-
because I did a little bit of research on these games years and years ago. I remember the fog being magic or something. I might be pulling this 100% straight out of my ass, so, no, don't take my word for it.
The fog
but-
is a voodoo curse.
I mean, it could be.
A lot of people also, mentally combine the games and the movie. So, some of what you're hearing might be from the movie. And I don't
Okay.
remember the details of the fog, but they did do the fog world as a dimension parallel to our own kind of thing with Sean Bean exploring the real world version of the town.
They got
and
Sean
just-
Bean for
and
that
sort of-
movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even Sean Bean's character, just Sean Bean.
Like, well, does he die?
No, he doesn't. It's like the one role I can think of where he doesn't die.
And that's why the movie sucks.
That's
he's-
a real actor. You got a real actor for a video game movie in
I
like
think
the
he-
early 2000s. I'm impressed.
And you know what? I think he even survives the sequel, which is the one where his character actually should have died. So,
They made 2 Silent Hill movies?
Yeah.
No,
So,
they
yeah.
made 2 movies where Sean Bean didn't
the
die.
first one is the first one is just called Silent Hill, and it's a very good Resident Evil movie. And the
Wait, what?
it's a very good Resident Evil movie. Yeah, I said it. It's not a good Silent Hill movie, but it's a great Resident Evil movie. And the second one is Silent Hill Revelation, which is very, very, very loosely based on Silent Hill 3. It's the one where they got Jon Snow's actor, I forget his name, to play the role of a character they pulled completely out of their asses. And yeah, Sean Bean is back as
Now playing the role of Sean Bean is Jon Snow.
you know no. Okay. So the characters in the Silent Hill movie were Rose Da Silva, Christopher Da Silva, and whatever her name was. To make Silent Hill Revelation, I guess, more loyal to the here's the door to the motel, which is our next stop.
A box of olives. A quart of milk.
How many did you get? A gross, dude. That's 144 eggs.
Cookies.
Anyway, to make Silent Hill... that is a disturbingly photorealistic man.
He looks like Cole Phelps.
Better or worse than Wesker in a lab coat.
Well, you know what? I'm not even going to make a
you're
judgment
hesitating.
call on that one. In any case, oh yeah, this is where you find the key, I think, or something. Oh yeah, there we go. It's just a key that goes to the safe, and why the safe has a key, I don't know, because it should really be a combination lock, but you know. I mean, what's the point of a safe if the key's in the drawer right next to it? That's some real amateur security
Or
here.
if the key is inside the safe.
Anyway, I was ranting about Silent Hill Revelation. In order to make it slightly more loyal to the game, which they really shouldn't have, because, well, fuck, even the original Silent Hill movie had more Silent Hill-ish horror than Silent Hill Revelation does. In order to make it more loyal, what they did was they had Christopher De Silva take the fake name Harry Mason while in hiding with his daughter. So his real name in the game became his fake name in the movie, and I'm pretty sure Harry Mason was using a different fake name in the game, so I'm just like, this, okay. Your adaptation choices confuse me.
You see, I now I'm kind of wondering, like, did Sean Bean play the game to study for the role, or did he just like walk in and be like, "Hey, check this"?
Well, there's not much to study, to be honest. With Harry Mason, you just kind of have a blank slate. But, I ranted about this before. I forget whether we were recording when I did. But their decision to have the main character of the first Silent Hill movie be Rose Da Silva, the original character, Do Not Steal, was because they thought Harry Mason wasn't masculine enough.
Oh, I think that wasn't a. I remember you ranting about that. I think it actually wasn't a part, though.
Yeah. It's like, wow, okay, so he's not masculine enough. You want to explore motherhood instead of fatherhood because, that's a woman thing, caring for children. Men don't do that. Men don't care for their children, right? And,
We're all Barnock, yes.
to emphasize this, like, he never really seems to show any concern for his lost child. When he's looking around for them in Silent Hill, he's always looking for Rose. So, I guess caring about your lost child is not masculine enough, but, running around calling out for your missing wife, yeah. I mean, without her, how are you going to prove you're a man? I don't know. This movie just irritates me on so many levels.
Men can't breastfeed. This is unrealistic.
Not with that attitude, they can't, John.
Arnold Schwarzenegger would like to have a word with you.
Yeah, we don't talk about Junior.
You just did.
Ugh.
Do Junior and Twins take place in the same continuity?
I don't know.
Okay, so I have a bone to pick with both of the Silent Hill movies, but I'll still admit that the first Silent Hill movie is a great Resident Evil movie. It's got hordes of scary monsters, high-flying situations, gory, gruesome horror deaths. Yeah, that's a thing a Silent Hill movie does that the games don't. Gory, gruesome horror deaths. When I think Silent Hill, deaths are not something that I'm super that I'm thinking about. It's not really something the series does. I mean, there are a few gruesome deaths, but they're usually in a different kind of context than you would think of as a
So
horror
Silent Hill likes to
death.
focus more on disturbing imagery rather than just straight out gore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No parking anytime. Good thing it's noon.
The Silent Hill movie, one of the Pyramid Head scenes was like, okay, what's her name? I forget her name. There was a character who was helping who was helping Rose and Sybil, and she's like throwing stones at Dahlia for some reason. I forget the context. And what happens is, like, Pyramid Head sort of instant transmissions in behind her. There's some symbolic importance to that, I'm sure, but I can't be bothered to remember what it was.
It judges up the trauma of never having instant transmission from Dragon Ball.
Yeah. Well, in any case, Pyramid Head shows up and grabs this character, and Rose and Sybil are running away. They turn around. They see Pyramid Head holding her up as if to show her to them. Pyramid Head rips her dress off. Apparently, she wasn't wearing any underwear because she's just naked under there. It's like, what was her underwear magnetized to the underside of her dress or something?
Yeah, she
I don't
goes
know.
commando.
And then Pyramid Head rips her skin off. And throws it at the door as they run away. And, it's a very striking scene. gruesome horror death. I like when I look at the YouTube scene for it. There's comments that are all like, "Oh, how badass Pyramid Head is." Pyramid Head didn't do that shit in the game. Shut up.
Shut up for rip your skin off.
Pyramid Hair is basically just there to just screw the nurses and swing his blade around.
Yeah, for a giant dick symbol who made his debut by humping a mannequin, I would venture to say that Pyramid Head was more subtle than that. In any case, yeah. So very interesting scene, but when I say it's a good Resident Evil movie, that's the kind of stuff I mean. It does a lot of stuff that Silent Hill deliberately doesn't, and that irritates me on a totally subjective level. Anyway, our entire reason for coming to this motel is to examine this motorcycle. There's a lock on the gas tank. Why would there be a lock on the gas tank? I mean, maybe he's trying to keep people from dumping sugar in there. I don't know. I mean, it's a good precaution to take if you live in that kind of neighborhood.
What happens if you? I don't know the chemistry behind that. What happens if you dump sugar?
I'm
in
pretty
the
sure
gas?
if you dump sugar or something like sugar, I might be misremembering what it is. You can dump that kind of thing into someone's car and basically ruin their gas tank.
Okay.
Yeah, which is why I'm glad my Kia Soul actually locks the gas tank for me. I have to pop it open from inside the car.
Most cars nowadays have that, thankfully.
Yeah, it's.
I'm sure really old ones don't, but
Yeah, it's a really foul. It's something that people do to other people when they really want to be an asshole to them. Because if you do something like that to someone's car, you're really giving them a hard time. Stop it, Malware Bytes. I will update you later. Okay, so we got. I think.
Something.
Oh yeah, that's right. We have got to go to a specific motel room and use Coughman's key to get in. And examining his room lets you find the key to the gas tank of that motorcycle.
And you have to do all of this to get the good ending, you said, right?
Yes.
Okay.
What do you suppose is in the gas tank of that motorcycle?
Gas.
Yes.
No, wait, hold on. This has to be something symbolically.
No.
Oh, no.
You're both wrong.
Oh. Okay, we give up. What is it?
Yeah.
The answer is in a
Pyramid Head?
previous part.
It's a pyramid head.
Think back to other things related to Coughman that we've seen so far.
Is
The
it drugs?
friendship we made. Is it the friendship we made along the way?
He fuels his motorcycle with it.
Yeah.
Is it the drugs?
No.
Oh.
Although that's closer.
Can I phone a friend?
Yeah. Do we have lifelines?
Anyway, there's a key under the floorboard, but you can't get it. Whatever should we use to deal with this? Oh, thankfully, we found a magnet with a string attached to it in the other side of the apartment. So,
Or you could just
yeah.
try to break the floorboards a little bit so you can reach down.
This is not the last time in the series where you need to find some way to get an item out from under a narrow space. I think there's like a wooden pallet in the mall area at the beginning of Silent Hill 3 that has a very similar puzzle.
And just pushing it isn't an option in that one?
Huh?
Just pushing the pallet isn't an option in that one?
Oh, well, it's like buried under a bunch of heavy stuff, so Heather can't move it.
Because if it was just a wooden pallet, that'd be really easy to move.
Yeah,
Like, you might
Yeah.
scuff the floor, but it's Silent Hill. I don't think they'll care.
I can attest to that. It's basically my part of my job. Let's see. Right, I think that's all there is to do here. Just get the key and examine the motorcycle. Looks like it's been sitting here for years, but you notice that the dust is wiped away just around the gas tank cap. So someone has been using the gas tank cap, but not the bike itself, which is very suspicious. And in
Also
the
very
gas
specific.
tank is the red liquid.
Oh, that stuff. Okay.
Yeah. A full bottle of Aglaophagus. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm still not. I haven't looked it up between sessions. I'm sorry.
So the red liquid was the drugs, or it was something different?
No, it's something different. It's basically evil destroying liquid.
Oh, okay.
Give me that.
The Aglaophagus is very important actually because you actually have to use a pendant that Heather was given by Harry that happens to be made of solidified Aglaophagus. It's kind of amusing in a darkly humorous way.
What do you think you're doing?
Harry gave Heather Mason this basically a pill made of Aglaophagus, and you have to swallow it in order to avoid being killed at one point, like at the very end of the game. And once you understand the context of what was going to kill her, it becomes like the most hilarious thing Harry Mason has ever done. And I can't wait to get to that part in the Silent Hill commentary. I'm gonna lose my shit. It's also, though, somewhat evidence that the canon sequence of events does not involve Sybil surviving. Because the only place people can really think that Harry Mason had Aglaophagus from is the little plastic bottle in my inventory right now. But that would suggest that maybe he didn't use it on Sybil. Like maybe he thought to collect a bottle but didn't think to use it on Sybil during that boss fight, so he got the good ending and had the Aglaophagus in his inventory and used that to make the pill.
So you can get the good ending and not save Sybil?
No, that's just a theory thing regarding later on.
Well,
Oh, okay.
you can get the good ending and not save Sybil. Sybil's survival, I said this before, is the difference between a regular ending and a plus ending. So you can save Sybil and still get the bad ending, that's bad plus. You can save
okay.
Sybil and get the good ending, that's good plus.
Okay.
You know? Yeah.
All right.